So, how do I start talking about this? Today's video was going to be a different thing. I was going to talk about this stupid thing with, like, the squad and some Medicare for all vote and something going on in the House that, frankly, I probably don't know enough about anyway. But how do I not talk about this? Like, one, how do I not talk about this? Two, where do I begin talking about this? This is. Uh, I mean, it's to say it's disgraceful. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything that hasn't been said a million times by people with bigger followings than me, or people who know more than me, or who do this for their jobs. I don't have anything to add, I feel, that hasn't been said better by other people. But something needs to be said because this is not okay. And this is when we say that Biden isn't going to just come in and magically make everything better. This is what we're talking about, okay? These people, these people here, they are not going to go away on January 20th. These Trump flags, these MAGA hats, these are not going to go away after January 20th of 2021. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I hate that I have to say that because this is horrifying. I mean, people broke into the Capitol with the knowing intent of, I don't know, kidnapping a senator, uh, killing someone, killing a member or members of Congress. I don't know what they were planning. Uh, this is just, it's it's horrifying. It defies uh, description how not okay this is. I mean, we look at some of the pictures from inside. I want to see pictures from inside the Capitol. Let me look at this here. Okay. I mean, here, this fucking guy here. Some random dipshit sits at Nancy Pelosi's desk. I don't give a shit about Nancy Pelosi. But, like, this, just random people walking in, like, there were emails on this computer. What if that had like confidential information on it? Uh, this is so not okay. Like, I'm not gonna. I really don't want to feed into the bullshit. Like, this is the start of a civil war. This is like the thing that sets it off. Because I really, that's such a stupid discourse to have, and I don't want to be a Tim Pool type, right? That just like agitates, and my whole purpose is to just grift on uh agitation against the Democrats in favor of Republicans, or in favor of just like a civil war, whatever have you. I don't want to do that because that's irresponsible and it's stupid. But this is this borders on one of the just the it's sad. You know, it more than anything, it's just sad. These are grown ass adults, okay? These aren't like little dipshit 15 and 16-year-old LARPers who just spent the last like week getting radicalized on pole, and they go out to DC and stage some kind of LARPy coup, right? This is grown-ass adult human beings who can't accept the possibility that they might be wrong, that they might be on the wrong side of history. Right? And I believe other people when I say we're going to look back on the Trump administration, we're going to look back on 2017 through 2020 the same way that we look back on like we're going to look like this flag here, this Trump 2020 flag. Like this shit here, decades from now is going to have the same connotation as this, the same connotation as this. By the way, this is a thing that happened. This is the first time in history that a Confederate flag has been flown in Congress. The Confederates never made it farther north than, I think, Fort Sumter. And here is just a guy in a fucking zip-up hoodie flying a Confederate flag in the halls of the U.S. Capitol. But we're going to look back on Trump paraphernalia and Trumpism in general the same way we look back on Nazism, the same way we look back on the death throes of slavery. We're going to look back on it as just a horrific period in American history where people decided that their just hatred and their inability to reconcile their beliefs with reality, we're going to look back on a day when those people just decided that they were going to do something like this. They decided that this was the way forward for America. That their shitty fucking racist ass president, who A, has not been a good president, B, is exceptional in very few ways other than how terrible he has been. Like, this isn't. I don't want to give a false impression here. This isn't a coup. This isn't like highly organized, highly competent, like fascist, super terrorists, commandeering single-handedly control of the United States government. Okay, what this is a bunch of very, very sad white people who are so upset by the very notion of the world changing. They're so upset by the notion of them being of anyone being allowed to make the world a better place that they want to break into one of the most historied buildings in the United States of America, the building where slavery was abolished, right? The building where other landmark legislations are slipping my mind right now, but the building where women got the right to vote, the building where we time and time again over the course of history have proven that we are better than our ancestors. They've just decided that that's not sacred to them. They've decided that hang on. Oh shit, drop my mouse. They have decided, let me see if I can find it. There was a guy somewhere who... Oh, I want to find it. Where was it? This, right here. They've decided that Trump is more important to them than America. I mean, that's the long and short of it. They don't give a shit about America. These aren't patriots, okay? These are not patriots. These people don't love this country. You can't just wear like an American flag like garter on your face and call it and call yourself a patriot. Okay, if you're going to call yourself a patriot, if you're going to call yourself someone who loves America, you have to you have to respect at the very least the ideals upon which the country was founded, which or at least the principles on which they're ostensibly founded, which are democracy and freedom and the pursuit of life and whatnot. These people don't give a shit about that. They give a shit about worshiping a deity, essentially. They give a shit about worshiping a 76-year-old, I don't fucking know how old Trump is, 75, 76-year-old obese motherfucker who, like, brags about sexual assault on videotapes and, like, doesn't care about anything at the end of the day so long as long as he never ever has to have his ego hurt. And God, I just have so much to say. How far in are we? 12 minutes. Okay, we're still going. This is what fascism in its death throes looks like. I want you to imagine, okay? Imagine 4 years from now, right? Imagine 2025. It is January 8th of 2021 or of 2025. And Donald Trump has just failed in his attempt to overturn the... Which amendment sets presidential term limits? Is it 22? It's the 22nd Amendment. Imagine Trump has attempted to somehow bypass the 22nd Amendment and has attempted to run for a third term as president. Like, these are the people that would be in charge of the government. These are the people at whose hands we would be at the mercy of. Like, there's no stating how disgusting this all is. This is all just... like I said, I don't have it. I can't really say anything that hasn't been repeated already ad nauseum. But let it be known, I don't think this is going to end when Joe Biden comes into office. I don't. I worry about Inauguration Day. I genuinely do. If there is any sort of public event on Inauguration Day, I worry for Joe Biden's life. I worry for Kamala Harris's life. It's Kamala. I'm doing the horrible thing that Republicans do. It is Kamala. I worry for I worry for people's lives on Inauguration Day, right? There have been TikToks, like fucking TikToks of people loading guns and saying, "I'm going to go assassinate Joe Biden." Hang on, let's see if we can find it. Oh, well, I don't want you all to see my YouTube history. Yeah, you might see might see some untoward things in there, but it... I mean, what do I say? Do I mention the fact that the police just allowed them to walk into the Capitol, that one person died, and how we're supposed to just, like, ignore the fact that if this were a Black Lives Matter protest marching on the Capitol, that they would have fucking drone struck, that they would have fucking nuked Washington, D.C. before they let fucking Black Lives Matter protesters get into the Capitol, do I talk about the fact that every single Republican that's enabled the Trump administration in the last 4 years is like the is complicit in this? Like, like, okay, I was talking to my mom earlier today, and her father, so my grandfather, he's a longtime Republican. I've always known he was a little bit of a racist, but there's not so much a thing as a little bit of a racist. You're either a racist or you aren't. I've always kind of known he was a racist, but the thing that finally drove me over the edge of just being I, he basically was defending Trump and the protesters and the rioters. They're not protesters. Protesters are what happened over the summer, which were overwhelmingly peaceful. Rioters, there is no word to describe what happened yesterday other than a violent riot, a violent assault on our institutions. But my grandfather, I mean, he was defending Trump and these people to my mom on the phone yesterday, and through all of the political disagreements he and I have had, I think that's the thing that makes me lose the most respect for him, because this is just horrifying. I also heard somewhere that there was an attempt on Gretchen Whitmer again after earlier this year, where I want to see. There was a Gretchen Whitmer. No, it wasn't the plot, but that was earlier this year. I could have sworn there was a thing yesterday with Gretchen Whitmer. I might have been wrong. I also saw something about my own governor. House. No, that's not it. Okay, well, if it did happen, it didn't get reported on. I saw something that multiple Democratic governors got. Basically, their houses got similar treatments. Here, fence built around governor's mansion following protest around it. Only protest activity. What do we got here? Yeah. Oh, great. Oh wait, this was from July. This is a while ago. Okay, never mind. But there's no way to interpret this as anything other than a deliberate assault on our institutions. I don't really have much more to say. I know a little bit ago I said I have so much more to say, and that was like 6 minutes ago. But God, we are better than this, okay? That the thing that needs to be understood here, above all else, is we as rational people, we on the left. I don't mean we as in America. This is America, okay? This is what America has bred. And this is why we need to make it better, okay? This is not this when people say, we should maintain the status quo. My dad loves to say this. My dad says that anything that keeps life exactly how it is for me is perfect, right? And I deeply resent him every time he says that, because we are, an upper middle class suburban white family, and we are very much not representative of the majority of this country, and that really frustrates me. But the status quo has bred this. This is what comes from conservatism in general. This is what comes from people resistant to change. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely detestable. And this is why we need to make it better. Do I think a Democratic Congress and Democratic president are going to fix this? Uh, are they going to fix the problem at the heart of this? No, but god damn, they're at least going to run the country like adults. They're not going to tweet videos about how special all of the rioters are as they storm the Capitol uh, in response to an election they lost. Because Democrats just don't storm the Capitol when they lose an election. Like, this didn't happen in 2016. It didn't. Was there lib shit about how Russia, like, hacked the election? Yes. Was it stupid? Yes. But it wasn't this. It wasn't a deliberate act of terrorism against our institutions. Anyway, that's really all I have to say about it, and it's still going to get worse before it gets better. I am dreading Inauguration Day very much. Who knows? Maybe we'll impeach and convict Trump in a span of 2 weeks. We'll see. But anyway, if you liked this video, check out my two-parter of late night rambling about the Georgia Senate election. Check out my video about the crime president doing other crimes, as far as calling a state secretary of state and asking him to commit election fraud. This is proved to be much easier than I was expecting. Making these videos, I suppose not really editing them certainly helps. I've done edited content before, and it turned out to be much more of a hassle, and frankly more trouble than it was worth, given the views that those videos got. But yeah, and so if you like this, subscribe, like the video, dislike it if you don't like it. Comment, I guess, if you want, maybe like what you would want to see in a future video. Tell your friends. I think I'm still at like 6 subscribers. Yeah. So, all right. That's kind of all I've got.